recording now.
Oh, take 3.
Good. Take 3. We got it. This is Everything Guns, where we talk about stuff without recording.
Yeah, we was 12 minutes into it. Good job.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to start off today's episode with a couple different scenarios that we can kind of discuss and what we think we should do or would do in the situation.
Sounds exciting.
It's going to be good. So this is actually from a news story, something that actually happened. So in St. Louis, Missouri.
Unlike those news stories for it's fake.
Not a fake news story, but there's a bunch of those. All right, so there's, in St. Louis, Missouri, there's a man was arrested after a video appeared to catch him nonchalantly shooting a homeless man execution style in broad daylight. So if you watch this video, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I have not.
So in downtown St. Louis, this guy's like, I don't know if he's in a store or what, but he's maybe 50 feet away. And there's these two people sitting outside on the street, on the curb. Or one on the street and one guy standing over him. And the homeless, you can tell the guy's homeless, the guy's on the curb. And he's looking up, he's trying to stop the guy from doing anything. Well, the guy's trying to rack his gun. So he's sitting there, and this guy's just sitting here videoing. And the guy finally gets his gun right, points it at him, shoots him point blank. So the question is, if you see someone pointing a gun at someone else in public, what do you do? Would you be legally justified to shoot that guy? And would you?
I think.
And what could happen if you
legally did? You're justified with the latest couple of things that have happened lately.
Man,
would you?
I mean, would you know what was going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. I don't know if I'd sit there and video it and not do nothing. Yeah,
well, they got it. At least they got it on video. Yeah. By the dude videoing it, the guy's captured and charged with murder.
Yeah, but the guy's dead, though.
The guy is dead.
That's terrible.
It's awesome. To sit there and watch it is awful. It appears that the guy had already been shot once, because if you watch the video, you kind of hear something, and then they kind of show up in the frame. And
that's probably what got the guy to point the camera over there. You heard the first shot.
Yep. And then you see this going on. And, the question was, all right, what do you do? What would be, obviously, most people want to say, I would try to stop that. Or,
I don't know.
I mean, that's what you would want to do.
That's what you would say. I don't know if you would, though.
Yeah, that's what you would want to do. I'd want to, I want to stop this guy from killing this guy in cold blood. So what are some of the things that could go wrong with that?
Well, I think, first off, from a legal standpoint, for the defense of others, you could legally, even if you turned out to be wrong, and it was, say, a police officer that shot this guy for some reason, but if you reasonably believed it was something else, I think you would be justified. But
yeah, from the video with the way the guy was acting and begging, and then just the way the guy and just shooting him point blank, I think you would be justified there.
But coming to the aid of others now is getting. I don't know. It would be tough if it wasn't a family member.
Well, it brings up the Daniel Penny guy. He came to the aid, and now he's charged with murder. So you shoot the guy, and then the family members come back and say, well, he wasn't really going to shoot him. Yep. Now I'm going to sue you for everything you got for killing my son that's an honor student. Yeah, or whatever. So, I mean, there's...
No, I don't know. That's where it gets tough.
And, do you put yourself in that?
That's why you see people doing these videos now instead of stepping in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people want to say I would step in. But then you step in for a stranger, and then if you go to jail, you've ruined your family's. I mean, if you're the one working, you've ruined their lives as much as you ruined your life.
And it's likely you're going to get arrested regardless of the situation, even if it turns out good. You're going to be arrested. You're going to have to go through the court system, even if you're innocent, even if you were justified. So it's tough.
I mean, it's awful. I mean, you go look at some of the comments on this video, and people are going back and forth with this same discussion, and people are saying, well, it's terrible that we're at a point in society that we have to worry about being prosecuted for saving somebody's life or being sued out of all our money we have for stopping somebody from killing somebody else.
Well, like we talked about in our classes before, you have to make the decision, is it worth going to jail for the rest of your life to step in and do what you do whatever you need to do? Yeah. I don't know if it'd be worth it to go to jail for the rest of my life on that.
I know. I mean, it's a tough decision. And it's tough sitting there, and it's awful sitting there watching this guy just beg and then you be shot.
Yeah, I don't know if I could just sit there and video it and not say something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be. I'm not just sitting in the behind a window and watching this happen.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah,
I think that's terrible that you've got people that do that.
Yeah, you're almost better off just brandishing and then getting off. Yeah, and if he stops, leave or just and not even be there at that point.
Yeah,
what
I
think.
agree.
So I mean that's stuff going on in our society.
So
now,
did the guy run off and then they just had to go find him, or did he? So he videoed. The guy shoots him. Guy leaves
and they
just
track him down and arrest him.
They didn't even. Nobody tried to stop the guy after he shot him.
No,
that's terrible.
No, right out in public, right on the street.
How many people were around?
I didn't. Looking at the video, I didn't see hardly anybody around.
That's awful.
But
okay.
So scenario number 2. So you come driving up to your house, and you see somebody inside robbing your house. Can you shoot them? Can you get out and shoot them from your yard because they're robbing you? And use castle doctrine as your defense.
Yeah, you can't use castle doctrine because you're not inside your house or in a vehicle so you can't use castle doctrine. Can't really use stand your ground because there's no.
Can I shoot them from my vehicle?
Not if they're not trying to break in. They're trying to break into your vehicle if you're in your vehicle.
Yeah.
No, you can't. The only state that we think you might even have a chance for that is in Texas, where you can use lethal force for defensive property, but we're in Alabama. No, you can't.
Yeah, the castle doctrine, just for those that may not know, the castle doctrine espouses a legal theory or philosophy that every person is an actual king or queen of their dwelling. That legal philosophy asserts that a king or queen never has to flee their castle or their home or their business property or their vehicle before being presumptively permitted to use deadly physical force against an intruder.
Yeah, it's basically stand your ground inside your house.
Yeah,
basically that's what it is. You don't have to retreat. That's all stand your ground is. That people always talk about. This is a stand your ground case. No, all stand your ground is you don't have to retreat. There's no legal requirement to retreat if you can legally be in a place. So no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, so Alabama law states this: if you reasonably believe that another person is in the process of unlawfully and forcibly entering your dwelling, business property, or occupied vehicle, then you have the right to defend yourself and use deadly force.
If you're in the house.
If you're in the house, yeah. So
you can't be standing outside and seeing somebody trying to break in and shoot them in the back.
So can you, if you drive up, you see someone in your house, and you know a family member is inside, can you shoot them from the yard? Not the family member, the thief.
There, I believe you could, but not from castle doctrine. You'd have to use the legal defense of others, like we were talking about for the first scenario.
Yeah, if I'm sitting there and I see them at the...
Because there's an imminent threat to someone that's in your house if somebody's broken in. You have to believe.
What if they're running out?
I'm
thinking you probably shouldn't shoot them if they're running out of the house.
No, but then you got to worry about what happened while they were in there. But again,
you go in and you find your family dead.
But again,
and then he gets a little bit. Yeah, so that's
not if
that's a little muddy there. Obviously, you can't shoot them just for robbing the house from the yard.
You'll go further, running out with a bloody knife. You'll go there too. Can you shoot them then?
I think you can shoot them if they come running out with a bloody knife.
I think that might be an imminent threat.
I don't know why you did that, but yeah. So I mean that's if they're running out, if you know somebody's inside, it's gonna be hard not to shoot them if you know somebody. If they come running out and you know your wife or kid was in that house.
So the problem, a lot of problems, and we teach this, and we've taught this before in our classes. If you drive up, you think somebody's broken into your house, say a door is open, or you actually see someone in there, your first instinct is going to go in after them. But you should step back, call the police, let the police handle it, because you're going to get in trouble if you use lethal force on that type of situation.
If you go in and then you could be considered the aggressor. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if you go in and then this person says, well, they didn't mean to go in there. They thought it was a friend's house and they went in there, and you come in with a gun, and now they're the innocent person and you're the aggressor. They could use lethal force.
Hey, wasn't there a mayor in Georgia just arrested on that?
He went into an abandoned house. Well, that was that police officer that went into the wrong apartment and she shot a guy.
Yeah, but I think there's an actual mayor.
Yeah, that was a mayor.
What you just said, I think it's bullcrap, but yeah.
I don't know what he was. I think he was probably, I didn't read the story, but if I had to guess, he was drunk or something.
You think he's probably looking for Hunter Biden?
Looking for the cocaine that he left at the White House.
Yeah.
Who knows? We won't get into that.
All right, so there's two scenarios. I mean, just something to think about.
I think they both go back to, how you ever look at them, defense of others, and then, when you can and can't use counsel doctrine or stand your ground.
Yeah. All right, so
People need to know the laws of their states.
oh yeah, that's why I
the
looked
rules
up.
around
And
use of force.
it can be pretty vague too, like the way you can read the.
Especially defense of
counsel
others,
doctrine.
it can get very vague.
Yeah.
And it can definitely be used against you in a court.
So this is not really a scenario. This is more a what could
This is actually
these
what
guys
happened.
done
This actually
differently.
happened.
Well, the one on the street happened.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I posed a question with that. This is the 3 San Antonio police officers that are now charged with murder. They were responding to a call, and this woman later identified as Melissa Ann Perez apparently was cutting some wires to a fire alarm system in an apartment complex. So the cops show up, 3 cops. And the chief said it appeared that Mrs. Perez was having a mental health crisis. He came from watching the video. Yeah, if you hear her screaming, yeah, it's probably that. So they're talking to her, and as they talk to her, she ran into the apartment, and then officers continued to talk to Perez through a rear patio window, urging her to come out, but she wouldn't come out. And then she keeps yelling, "You ain't got no warrant," because one of them had jumped over the railing and tried to get in through the window.
Which makes no sense. That's
the first
definitely
thing.
not de-escalating it.
Yeah,
that's escalating.
That's the first thing. I mean, she's in the house locked. She locked the door. She's in the house. She's no threat. I mean, she wasn't there threatening. They didn't come there because she was threatening somebody or broke. I mean, I saw this one thing where, I mean, that's the one line where I read that she was cutting wires is the only time I ever saw that. The other time it was like a family member had called over a mental health issue.
Yeah, yeah.
But one officer tried to open the window, and at that point she threw a glass candle holder at him, but he's still outside. It didn't break the window.
So she threw it. She was inside. Threw it toward the window. He's outside.
Yep. And
okay.
Guess what he did?
Well, I'm going to guess he shot at her.
He shot at her. He missed.
That's crazy.
He shot 4 or 5 times. You watched the video.
Yeah,
he shot quite a few times, and then stopped. And they're still yelling. She's still, "You ain't got no warrant." And then a few seconds later, she advances toward the window while holding a hammer. Now she's
still inside.
Still inside.
A
Door's
door
locked.
between them.
A locked door. Door, wall between them. Window between them. I think if you look at the video, there's a TV right in front of this window. So she's got there's something in between the window and her
and the police.
And the police. So she's running toward the window. Well, more than a dozen shots go off. Perez was struck at least twice.
And all that shooting.
Well, if you watch the video, you understand why she's only hit twice.
One guy had his eyes closed and was crying.
Yeah, there was one cop. All 3 started shooting. One guy, I mean, he had no recoil control at all, and his gun was just, I mean, almost pointed down at one point.
Which I don't get how the muzzle went down.
I don't know. His eyes were closed, and it did look like he was crying. He was shooting through the wall.
I guess,
I
guess I don't know.
It was horrible. So, but what should they have done? I mean, obviously we say de-escalate. So how could they de-escalated this?
Well, I mean, you just step back. She's in the house. She poses no threat. You step back. Heck, you could even leave at that point if you wanted to and get her later.
Well,
if there's an issue.
Yeah, you don't have to jump over the railing.
You could go talk to whoever called in the complaint. If it was a family member, call them over. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do.
Yeah, I mean, if you were that scared, it'd be a good time to hit my mute button. If you were that scared, then don't jump over the railing and be right outside the window. Stay back. They could have had another 4 or 6 feet from her.
Yeah,
if they were that scared, and then call, like you said, call somebody over that knows her. Hey, let's calm her down. Let's talk about what's going on.
To me, it looked like they just got mad she wasn't obeying their.
Oh yeah,
their
they didn't like that they wasn't obeying. Then they were going to get her out of the house. I mean,
no reason for it.
There's no reason. It should have been de-escalated. If we were in an argument with somebody and we we started doing that, we would be charged with murder so fast, and they're
we should
charged with
have.
murder,
Well, they should be.
and we wouldn't have a justifiable right to do that either.
I don't think
so.
they have. There's no way they can show imminence, and that's going to be the biggest thing that they're going to have to prove is there was an imminent threat. I don't know how you do that with a window and a door and a wall in between you and the person,
just a hammer.
and just a hammer.
I mean, if you're worried about her coming outside, and what's Brinken's first name?
Andrew.
Andrew Brinken, yeah, law of self-defense. And he talks about, he says, he made the comment and said, I'm not crazy about, not stun guns, what are they called?
Pepper spray.
No, I mean, it's a stun gun, but they,
It's a stun gun.
I guess it's stun gun. I guess that's what it's called. But I thought it was called something else. But he said he's not crazy about those, but that'd have been a perfect time to use one.
Yeah.
So
My daughter calls hers Sparky. But anyway.
But yeah, it should have been de-escalated. It should have been a lot of things they could have done. And then they wouldn't be charged with murder. They wouldn't, and most likely going to jail. So
I think
It just-
deservedly so. They killed a woman that didn't need to be killed. Probably had some issues that could have been dealt with differently, and our police force should be held accountable for.
yeah, well, the chief made this comment. The shooting officer's actions were not consistent with SAPD policies and training. Well, I would hope not, because if your policies and training are to shoot somebody through the window and a door for holding a hammer, then that's probably not the best training. So
It'll be interesting to see how that comes out because we've seen other cases where we thought that it wasn't justified, and a jury found that the police were justified in some
Yeah,
shootings.
well, that was gonna be
There's
tough,
no
so-
way we would have been found justified.
But I mean, it goes for. I mean, it goes for if you get in a road rage incident or anything else like that. It's stay out of that stuff, de-escalate it, and try to calmer heads prevail. So
yeah, that could have been handled very differently.
yeah, that's the scenarios and news story I had. So, what about gear review? Got any gear to review today?
So I got one. Whoops, hit my microphone. So this segment brought to you by Misty Made It. For all your craft needs, check out Misty Made It on Instagram, Facebook. Use discount code Everything Guns or Click Rig Shooting. Either one. Use either one of those discount codes. Get 10% off your first order. So my only gear review. Let me pull this up because I didn't write it down. It's an optic from Burris. I think it's Burris. Burris. You seen them? It's
No, I've not.
It's called the Veracity PH 4x20x50. And what's cool about it? I mean, the MSRP is $1,199, which for a good optic is not too bad. I've probably spent close to that on an optic before, maybe a little more, unless my wife's listening. I have not. But this one, you know how normally you have clicks like MOA or when you're turning in the turret, you can dial in your MOA.
Yeah.
This one has got a heads-up display on it. So you basically check your distance, and then you dial up your heads-up display to whatever your distance is, and it tells you what your windage is. There's the heads-up display. It's got Bluetooth that connects to your phone.
Well, it still got clicks, right? I mean,
No, it didn't click. That's what I just said.
Well, I mean, I see dials on it.
Well, I just told you, you turn it to the yardage. It's not a MOA click. You just turn it to the yardage. Say if it's 573 yards, you turn it till you get to the 573 yards.
Does it not click?
You take no, it doesn't click. Which part of that do you not understand?
I mean, it feels like it would have like a little
How do you mean it feels like it?
I mean,
You don't- you're not-
you think it would have a click to it?
Anyway, it's 14.75 inches. This one I'm looking at is for a rifle, 14.75 inches long. It's got a length from the. I'm about to quit this one. Jerk. It's got a digital heads-up display,
Yeah, I mean, it looks
a wind
nice. I was
MOA,
gonna ask if
FFP
it
reticle,
clicked.
and displayed at max magnification. So it looks like the max magnification is I mean, you look at 573 yards.
Yeah, it's a digital zoom, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you digitally zooming it.
This system combines a digital sensor with a clickless mechanical elevation turret for ultimate accuracy down to 1/10 MOA.
So that wouldn't click
Using-
then, would it?
Do what?
So it's not clicking then.
No. Using the ballistics calculator From the app, with the digital elevation turret, the Veracity PEK system makes dialing to distance easier than ever.
That's cool.
With peak speed, precision, and performance. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like it.
You said it
Coming
was
with the
$1,100?
Yeah, but I found it at Cabela's for $9.99.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I wouldn't mind having it. I like,
I bet it's
I've
better
looked
than
at
my
some
scope.
optics before that, oh yeah, your scope sucks. Plus that, you don't know how to zero it.
Well,
It's got a
dials are
customizable,
opposite what it's labeled as.
whatever. All the data, one clear view, customizable dope card. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I might have to look at that. If I wasn't getting my new gun in this week, I might think about getting that for one of my rifles. But that's my gear review. My gun review, I took my little Ruger I'm holding here in my hand, my Ruger Mark 2245 Light, which is a cool looking gun. It's got the cuts in the frame, in the barrel. No, not the barrel. What do you call it? The frame, I guess.
That'd be the frame.
Yeah.
I don't think you got any cuts in the barrel.
It's a kind of got a 1911 style grip.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. That's what it is.
Okay, whatever. But I shot some Winchester stuff. I'm not pointing at it. You know, you look at that. It's got a threaded barrel too, so you could put a suppressor on it pretty easy. The sights aren't suppressor sights, but if you got a small enough suppressor, it'd be pretty cool to have on a 22. Shot good. I did have some issues with some of the American ammo. Was that American brand ammo I shot through it the first time? Then I shot some CCIs through it.
Yeah,
It shot just
it
fine
shot
with the CCIs. I don't think the American brand, it must not have enough.
It's like single action, man.
Yeah, it was terrible. But the only thing I don't like about this one, and they've improved it here.
It's adjustable rear side, isn't it?
Yeah. But the takedown on this one, which this gun is about 5 years old, is takedown is easy. It's got a little thing back here. You pull this out. Well, if you had something, you can pull it out with.
Yeah, on the grip, since nobody can see what you're doing.
Yeah, well,
That's on the
you
grip.
can see it.
Yeah, well,
It's got a little lever on the
You
on the
realize you're
grip,
doing
on the
a
back
punch
of the
out.
grip that you pull out. Comes apart. Putting it back together is a pain in the butt. So they've actually changed it now.
Let me see. Yeah, it's blue frame.
Yeah.
with a black grip.
Yeah, if you look up the 2245 Light, it's the model number 43924. It's a 10+1 for 22 long rifle. Barrel length 4.4 inches, fixed front sight, adjustable rear sight, threaded.
How many did you say it held?
10.
Nah, no way. That's just 10.
Yeah, it's just 10.
You sure?
Yeah, 10. What part of 10 don't you get?
That magazine said like it holds more than 10.
Well, you would be wrong. It holds 10. And then if you could do 10+1, if you had one in the chamber, then you could put 10 in it. There's your 11.
So you're saying you can only get 10 out of 22? I'm pointing this gun right at my leg.
Yeah. So it's got a 1/16 twist. It's a cool little gun, but what's neat about the newer ones? Let me see if I can find a picture.
You did some competition with that one, didn't you? Did you not?
No, I shot my Smith & Wesson 22 in competition.
Oh yeah,
Shot
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's right.
That was
okay.
that was a nice little 22.
You
If you
could
look
put
at that
you could put a red
picture,
dot on that.
yeah, it's fixed. Got to grab that.
Oh,
It's in your
oh,
hold.
I gotta hold it
Because I was going to show
This is
you.
the Mark
You see that
IV.
you see that little button they've added a new button on the back of the
Yeah, I see
lower
it.
receiver.
Yeah, the Mark IV 2245 Light.
Yeah, so now all you have to do is push that button and everything just comes straight apart.
Yeah.
And you don't have all this stuff.
And that's the Mark One, or is that just a Mark?
It's the Mark 2245 Light.
All right. Well, I mean, this is the Mark. You showed me a picture of the Mark IV.
Well, it's the same. It's the newer version of what I've
I
got.
understand that.
Apparently you don't.
It's not
I
looking
don't
gun.
Yeah. I gave you the model numbers the same. So this model number is 391244433, and this Mark one here.
Oh, it's good.
Is
Yeah,
it-
keep talking out off the microphone. That's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, it's a different model number.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
But it's the same. It's basically the same gun.
course it's a different model number.
It's an updated version.
It's
the
still gonna
same
be a
gun.
different model
But
number.
if you look at the same cuts and everything, it's an updated
You're going to
version.
mute me when I cough.
Well, quit coughing. All right, but that
How much was that? How much is the new one?
the new one MSRP of like $700.
Goodness. A little expensive.
Yeah, I didn't pay that
That's high
much.
for a
I didn't pay
22.
that much for this
How
one.
much you pay for that one?
I don't know, about 400.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years
That
ago.
seems high for a 22.
Well, it's a cool 22. That's
Yeah.
the reason I bought it. The only reason I bought it is because the way it looks.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a cool looking gun with
it
the
is
cuts
cooler,
and
yeah.
the cuts in the upper
Yeah,
and you get, like you said, you can put a nice little optic on it.
yeah, with the
Threaded barrel
rail
if
on
you
the
want to
top,
put a
rail on the
suppressor on
top.
it.
Yeah,
Once I get my
that'd be cool with a red dot and a suppressor.
Yeah, once I get my
That'd be pretty cool.
SOT,
FFL.
I had to get my SOT.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
And once I get my FFL and then my SOT, I might get a little 22 suppressor just to have to sell, and I can play around with it on this gun. So it'd be pretty neat. So that's my gun and my gear review.
Since you're talking about it, since you mentioned FFL, what's your FFL update?
Well, so I did have my meeting with the ATF, and that occurred earlier this last week. Yeah, so it's been almost a week ago now. Meeting went about an hour. The agent was very professional.
You didn't think it would be?
Well, I mean, I thought it went very well. So
You're
it
just
took
glad they didn't shoot your dog, ain't you?
to put my dogs outside. So, won't even get to that. No, it was a good meeting. So basically, most of it was just kind of going over the rules and regulations on maintaining your paperwork, and how accurate your paperwork has to be. You know, if I were to put this gun, if this was not my personal gun, which I've got to make sure I keep a good log of all my personal
Right.
guns separate from my guns that are going to be for sale, which is not going to be a problem because I probably won't have. Most of my stuff is going to be ordering it for people and then having this come in.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah,
But, you know, this one, when it goes into my book, for my disposition book, I have to take all the information off the gun, not off, say if it came in a box, not off the box. You got to make sure everything is
right. Yeah,
is off the gun,
yeah.
exactly the way it's on there.
Like
And,
like falling off serial numbers. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean,
You mean write it down?
I had to write it down. Don't take it off. Yeah, I had to write everything exactly the way it is on the gun into
Yeah.
my disposition book. And just be very careful on my documentation.
Yeah.
A lot of it, you know, the way she was explaining it, was they use if they have to use this information in a court case. If there's any errors in your documentation, they can get off on a technicality. Kind of like if you were stopped for speeding or something, and they had something written down wrong on their ticket, you can get off for technicality. So,
Oh, really?
so a lot of it is around just making sure they can do that way. You know, so I get the documentation part of it. I know a lot of people's complaining, well, if I make one little error, I can, you know, it's a big deal. You just got to be very careful.
Yeah.
She answered all my questions, you know, provided me a lot of documentation. There's a ton of things that you have to do, especially if somebody buys multiple guns. So if somebody came and bought 2 guns at one time, I've got to fill out a separate form on top of the 4473 that actually goes to the sheriff of your, you know, or the
Yeah, that's crazy.
local, you know, here to be our sheriff,
Yeah.
and send a copy of that form to the ATF, and keep a copy of that form in my files. And that's if you buy more than one gun in a 5-day period. So if I bought one today and then 3 days later I bought another one,
You gotta
that
do
form would
another
have to
form.
fill out. And if I bought another one 3 days later after that, another form would have to be filled out. So they're tracking that more than I thought they were. And this would be outside of the buyer. The buyer wouldn't have a clue that I was filling out these forms. The only form that they're going to fill out is the 4473,
Yeah.
which has changed a little bit. I know you're probably aware, but the new law that went into effect, I think 2021, where they changed the rules around 18-year-olds. Now there's an automatic 3-day waiting period.
Oh, yeah.
For 18-year-olds, 18 to 21 is automatic 3-day waiting period. And that's, of course, for rifles because you can't buy
Came by gun at 18, but you can't.
a pistol at 18.
Yeah.
You have to be 21 to buy a pistol. So, but overall, the meeting went well.
But you can carry at 18 in Alabama.
Yeah, you can get a concealed carry permit, but you can't
purchase
which
one.
makes no sense.
Also,
to me.
can go to war.
Yeah, that's crazy. I agree. You also go to war and you can't legally drink either. So,
Yeah. No, that's stupid.
so yeah. But the meeting went good. I thought I would get my license in a couple of weeks following that meeting, but she said it could be another 6 to 8 weeks.
That's crazy. I don't know why it takes so
The
long.
Rocket FFL course I went through said, you know, you go through this part, 2 weeks later you get your license.
Well, maybe it will be.
But now she said that I still have to go through the background check, FBI background check.
Okay.
So, and that's where all that stuff came in. What's interesting is since I've created my LLC, on the application it asked if I rent or lease my home or own it. I own it, and then innate all the stuff around the lease and rent part. But since I have an LLC, the LLC technically rents my home for my business. So I had to put on there that I lease, or rent or lease, the home to the LLC and put my name in as owner of the home. This that leases the property to the LLC to do business. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I thought that was a bit strange, but other than that, all my paperwork's in order. She said she was gonna, she was approving it on her end, and she didn't see any issues with me getting my FFL. So,
Well, maybe 5 or 6 weeks now you have your website up and going, and
yeah, I hope so.
maybe do something.
Hope so. I was gonna wait and get that steel frame Canic when I got my FFL, but the firearms dealer that I usually deal with is supposed to get one in this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it.
Yeah,
So I can start practicing with
you
it.
normally are more patient than that.
Yeah. Normally, yeah. I'm not waiting those 6 weeks if I can get it this week. I can go and start
really.
practicing with it. I
That's
probably
crazy.
wouldn't. I mean, I probably wouldn't save a couple $100.
Yeah. Okay.
So hopefully I'll have that gun on our next podcast I can do a review for. I did tell him if it wasn't the chrome steel frame, I didn't want it. I don't want the blackout
I
version.
still like the black one better, I think.
Yeah, I don't. I want the chrome one. I'm gonna get what I want.
Whatever.
So
All right, so that's your FFL update? FFL? That sounds weird. FFL. Got it.
Okay.
I'm done. Go ahead. Hit your button. All right, so what about some USPSA Chaotic Nationals update? You got the results on that?
Yeah, I got first
If anybody's interested.
the voting is still
So-
going on for the president and for Area 6, Area 8.
It's crazy how long that lasts.
Yeah, it ends July 16th. So next Saturday? Next Sunday? Next Sunday. Ends next Sunday. Then it'll take till the end of the month before they announce who won. And then for the presidential,
Why does it take so long to announce?
I don't know.
And they just tally and then they vote.
I don't know.
It ain't like they counting paper
I don't
vote.
know. I'm just telling you how long it
They're not just
takes. I'm not
counting paper
running.
ballots.
I'm not running it.
I guess they figuring out who they want to win first.
Well, probably so. I don't trust them anyway. They'll probably put Yin Ming Ling. Dang it, I forget his
I
name.
don't think it's Yi Ming Ling.
What is it?
It's something Lin, but it's Yi Ming Lin.
Yi Ming Lin.
Yeah, it's
I
not Lin.
forget. They'll probably put him back in because they know he can't take
That's
off.
so racist.
I didn't remember. Oh, it wasn't racist. Whatever. All right. So the results. Let me pull up these results.
So the Chaotic Nationals was last weekend, right?
week
ago.
Week ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. While
Yeah,
I was
something like that.
while I was in my vacation.
Yeah.
Glorious. Let's see. So I'm pulling up the results. So Christian Sailor, he won.
Yep.
And then Niels Johansen. Niels came in second. Jacob Heatherton, John Villinger. I didn't know him. I never heard of him before. Garen Singleton,
Don't know.
Trace Decker. Never heard of him.
What place was that? Max
He was sixth. Max Michelle, your dude, was seventh.
Seventh. That's fun. Yeah.
Mason Lane eighth. Dogsy Zhang ninth, and Jay Bill 10. So
Yeah.
that's your top 10.
Yeah.
Your 10th place guy was sitting at what was his percent?
That'd be
He was
the
still at
90s.
92.44%, which is crazy.
JJ Racaza was what, 16 or so?
Yeah, he was 16 with a 0 to
Zero to stage.
stage because he had a squib load.
Squib
We'll
load,
talk a
yep.
little bit about a squib load
Yeah.
later. Is our tip of the day on.
Yeah. There was 2 squib loads at that.
Yeah, one gun blew up.
Yeah. One guy did not realize it and shot and blew his gun apart.
And one of the guys
But
I shoot
didn't
with.
get hurt, but yeah.
Let's see. Let me find one of the guys I've shot with before. You do talk while I look for this.
Well, that's good. Well, if you go back to talking about Racaza, I was reading some stuff about him.
I bet you were.
He was. I don't know what that means. So he got to the point where when he zeroed the stage, he was pushing, trying to get back, thinking he was trying to get back and get into the run of things. finally realized, hey, he ain't gonna have enough points to be at first. So his next goal was to make the top 20, and he started shooting that like they think the last day. He said his first stage he went out a little hard and then backed it off a little bit to shoot to make the top 20 instead of trying to win every stage, and end up being 16 after 0 on the stage. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy. So this guy I shoot with,
And
he came in
he had
300.
multiple issues with his not gun but
Equipment.
Yeah.
So this guy I've shot with quite a few times. He came in 324th. No,
Does he usually beat you?
out of 500.
Yeah. Does he usually beat you?
He shot it at 59%. He's a B class shooter, and he almost got B
Does
class
it only
shooter.
beat you?
So
You're not
I
going
thought-
to answer my question.
I thought he would have done a little bit better.
Because he normally beats you.
But yeah, that was a little lower. And there was another match. They had a side match going on.
Yeah, the bill drill match.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
And that was crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Looking at the times on that.
So explain I'll look this up. Explain
bill
what a
drill?
bill drill is.
They were doing 7 yards, 6 shots. Got to get them all in the A zone to count. So
From the draw.
From the draw. So fastest 6 shots in the A zone from 7 yards wins. So the guy that had won it last year was he was already he had basically a bye out of the play.
Isaac Lockwood.
Yeah, so he was waiting for the qualifying round to finish up. So whoever won the qualifying round would go in with him, and they would shoot 6 rounds? 6, not 6 shots, but 6.
Yeah, they get 6 tries at the bill
6
drill.
tries at the bill drill. Yeah. So anyway, so you had this qualifying round. So they were trying to get people as they got done shooting to come over and do the bill drill, and they got a pretty good bid. They got Max to shoot it. I think he did like 1.6 and
1.64.
yeah, and then Rakaza did. And
He
a lot of them did.
He came in 4th place on bill drill. That's J. Bill
Yeah.
came in 8th.
Yeah. So, but the guy that won it what was his name again? Because I've started listening to his page.
Billy Barton.
Yeah, Billy Barton, and his first it wasn't his very first one, but it was like his second time he shot it. Was like a 1.23.
That's what he won it in. It's a 1.23.
Yeah, it was like
I don't think that's what he won the
no,
final.
that's not what he
but
won.
that's
the final
his best
one in.
time.
His best time was 1.23.
Crazy.
And then he went in and shot, and he shot like a 1.27 and a 1.4. I mean, it's just nuts. how fast.
1.23 on a draw and 6 shots. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
His draw was like 0.6
That's
on the first shot.
His
and
splits had to be 0.15, 0.14.
So he gets to, and if you listen to the Hit Factor no, it was Hit Factor podcast, wasn't it? That was talking about it,
Yeah.
or was it?
Yeah,
no,
it's Hit Factor.
Yeah, because they were talking. Yeah, the guy that put it on, because he's talking about they were trying to decide after he did it. He was like the first guy up, very first one to shoot, and he put a 1-2-3 up, and they were trying to decide whether or not to post that because they were worried if he posted,
Nobody's
nobody's going to come shoot it because it was what $20 for 2 runs at it. But they decided, hey, we got to post it, otherwise it's going to look weird. They posted, still got a good bit of participation.
Yeah.
Out of it, and
there's some B class guys that shot. And here's one guy that shot a 206 B class. Here's a C class guy that shot a 201.
yeah, and we
A class 196.
Hey, I shot a 2.2 at the range this weekend.
Yeah, you did. I agree.
2.2. I'd have been in 22nd place.
I shot a 207, but I had one in maybe one or two in the C.
1 or 2. You got to get them all in the A.
I know.
So, all mine was in the A. I had a 2.2 in the A.
Let me give you this here.
Oh, I was like, yeah. So I was pretty happy with that.
Oh, that was a good time.
It was a good run. I mean, it was my second run, 2.2 though. So,
yeah. No,
but I just don't see. I can't fathom 1.2. They're just so fast. They get into the finals. That Billy Barton and that what's the other guy's name?
Isaac Lockwood.
Yeah. So they get into the finals, and Barton he wins the coin toss and lets Isaac go first. Isaac puts up like a 1.6. Billy Barton jumps in there and beats that, and then puts in another couple good times, and then the Isaac guy, from what the guy that put it on was saying, was getting a little bit nervous, and couldn't beat his time. So, but it's pretty neat. It's supposed to be on what's the channel? The
Shooting Sport USA.
Shooting Sport USA is supposed to be on there.
They're going to do another. They're supposed to do another one at the Iron Sight Nationals. I don't know when that is, but
it's cool because we could go to the range and do that and see. And obviously, it's not there with everybody in front of you, but
it's not
pretty
easy.
neat. No, it's fast. I mean, obviously, it's not 25 yards, but a 7-yard bill drill at 1.23 seconds is crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, even less than 3 seconds to me is good.
Yeah, I mean, you get like me and do 2.2, it'd be impressive.
Yeah,
maybe next time. Maybe you can work on it a little bit.
I've been doing a lot of dry fire, working on my trigger control because that's where I'm not. We're definitely not trying to prep the trigger anymore.
Yeah, well,
it's just a matter of pull the trigger as fast as I can pull it and keep the gun from moving.
Yeah, they mentioned that Billy Barton guy, and he's got quite a few videos out. He's a decent looking shooter.
I made some progress last night.
He had some good videos on. I listen. I was talking though.
Go ahead.
So I need to do some more dry fire, but he had some good videos on fast splits. So.
Yeah. He can shoot fast. He's a GM. He didn't. I mean, he placed okay I think he was on 50 something or 60, 50s or 60s in the carry optics match, which is out of 500 people. That's pretty good. So
yeah,
pretty neat.
This was carry optics, not limited optics, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did look at one thing. So the only difference between those two divisions is basically you can have a mag well in limited optics, and you can shoot a 2011 in limited optics.
Yeah.
But I went back and
or a double stack 1911.
Yeah, or a double stack 1911 if you're not shooting a staccato.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be interesting to see. You would think if limited optics, if those 2011s or double stack 1911s had such an advantage over carry optic guns, then when you start looking at results from matches, those would be higher than your carry optics gun. But you don't see that. Your carry optics gun, basically all people are doing is taking their carry optics gun, putting a mag well on it, and shooting in limited optics.
Yeah.
And they're not shooting it any faster. So it just needs to be one. That's my only argument is that's stupid to have a limited optics division.
Yeah. Just
make it all one division.
Just allow staccatos.
It's just going to end up killing carry optics.
Everybody.
I would like to put a mag well on my gun.
Well, all the good shooters will go into limited optics because then it'll just be limited optics at that point.
Yeah,
so.
carry optics will die, and it'll be everybody shooting the same guns and limited optics.
Yeah,
it's silly.
Yeah,
but they didn't ask me.
I'm pretty sure they didn't.
So I don't, So if I do get that gun this week, I can start really prepping for my Alabama sectional. I think I'm lowering my expectations, maybe making A class instead of master class.
Yeah, what I said, dude. That's the one I said.
I think from my progress is not exactly where I would like it to be. I have missed. I did one time. I went to the range 3 times last week.
Yeah.
So try to get back out there a couple times this week, a couple times next week. I got to go on another trip the following week, so I'll miss a week of training and then really buckle down in August, getting a lot of shooting done before the September match. So it's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. I ordered my shirt, my Alabama sectional shirt, so I'm definitely going to shoot the match.
About that. You get a shirt. What kind of shirt did you order?
I don't know.
Like a jersey? What's it got on it?
It's better than those. I didn't get one of those national or those Area 6 shirts when I went to the Area 6 match.
Oh, you get a shirt.
I wasn't there very long.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a picture.
Did you get DQ'd before they handed the shirts out?
Yeah.
Oh, so
I won a prize and I left before I got my prize. I found out about it after I got it.
You ain't got to yell. I'm right here.
I'm right here. I'm just telling you. I would have got a prize if I had stayed for the second day, but I left because I got DQ'd and I was a little irritated. And why would I stay at the range all day if I'm DQ'd?
Yeah.
Hey, one guy got DQ'd like a second or third stage in my group.
That's what you did.
No, I shot like 5 or 6 stages.
Oh, good.
He was opening.
What was your results in those 5 or 6 stages?
I think I was probably top 5.
I'm going to go back and look that up. We'll discuss that in the next podcast. I'm going to bring those results up, and we'll talk about that the next
That's
podcast.
fine. You can compare those to other people who shot those stages.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah,
good to do.
I wasn't shooting carry optics. I was shooting limited division, shooting 9 millimeter. So I was shooting minor.
We can look at that division. Practice school.
Well, I know, but most people shot major, and I was shooting minor. So my results are going to be
It should
Not
have been
as good.
easier.
Well, it's not easier because they get more points for shooting.
But there's no recall.
Oh, whatever. All right, pull it. Yeah, you pull the results up. We can discuss
Yeah,
that.
we'll discuss that next time.
Yeah,
Just look at then we can kind of map out how you think you're going to do in the next one.
well, that was a couple of years. That was a year or two ago now. That
Yeah,
was a
it
year
was.
ago.
It's been a
That was a
while.
year ago. It's
Yeah.
been a year.
Yeah.
I think my shooting has improved, and I'm going to carry optics because I like shooting carry optics much better now.
Yeah.
So,
Is that all you got on USPSA?
yeah, got a couple of tips. How far are we in this?
Oh, we're pretty good way. We're 46 minutes into
Okay.
this thing.
2 tips. First one.
Goodness gracious.
What?
It's like you yelling at that.
Yelling.
I got some tips. Go ahead.
First tip, we talked about the squib loads in the national order. The one guy realized he had a squib load,
Yeah.
and the second guy didn't,
Did not,
and
yeah.
shot and had a.
I can see where that'd be tough, though, if you're shooting fast, to pick up on the fact that
Yeah. So basically, what a squib load is your round fires, or there could be a mouth, some.
didn't have enough propellant to force the round out.
Yeah, it could have been a manufacturer issue, or if you're. A lot of it happens when you're loading your own ammo and you just
Yeah.
don't get enough powder in it. It
Yeah.
could be a manufacturing issue where no powder at all was in it. And all you
Yeah.
have is a primer, and it's just enough
Yeah.
force to push the bullet into the barrel, and your next shot's going to have nowhere to go. But
Yep.
so as you're shooting, if you hear something not quite as loud as you would normally hear a round go off, you need to stop.
Yeah. Well, I
And
had
check
that
your
happen
fire.
on that my
Yeah.
Bertha 380, and yeah, I remember, and I'm sitting there shooting, and it sounded different.
Yeah.
Crap, we had to hammer that dang thing out of
Yeah,
there.
so you just got to be aware of that because it can be very dangerous. Luckily, nobody was hurt on that.
Yeah, the
one.
guy's gun, it destroyed the guy's gun, but it
Yeah.
didn't injure him, luckily.
But those can be dangerous, so you need to be watching out for squib loads.
Yeah,
and,
paying attention to what you're doing and listening, and yep. Especially if you're shooting fast, you still gotta be paying attention.
And my second tip is don't fly Air Canada because Air Canada
my
sucks.
I
Sucks.
don't think that's a gun tip.
I just said tip. I didn't say gun tip. That's my tip.
Well,
Stay
with
away
everything guns, we
Well,
were talking about
this is
guns.
everything. Stay away from Air Canada because Air Canada sucks. And the Toronto airport sucks worse than that.
You
So,
should have took the $2,400 and flew home.
well, that was in Vancouver, but whatever.
Oh my gosh, y'all were in Vancouver when that was offered?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we flew
No
to
one-
Toronto, spent the night in the airport on the floor,
And y'all for $2,400.
flew to Vancouver to
And didn't
fly
take it.
back to Ireland. So we
Yeah.
flew across Canada and then flew back across
So you could
Canada.
have took $2,400, toured around Vancouver, and then
I was not going to Vancouver. We were
but you
going
could
to-
have,
We could have.
and then flew home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have paid for the entire trip.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to think about
There were
that.
some other people that were really thinking about taking it, and they didn't take it either.
Oh, man,
I think somebody
I'd
did.
have took it in a second.
Yeah. But, yep, that's my
You could
two
have got
tips.
you that scope.
Watch for your squib load, and Air Canada sucks. That's my 2 tips. I don't know if that Air Canada sucks. Maybe don't fly Air Canada because Air Canada sucks. That's my tip.
All right.
They
Well,
suck.
I think we're gonna probably end it on that note, unless you got something else.
No, they suck. That's all I got.
Well, thanks for listening. This is Everything Guns. We're out.
All right, till next time, we're Everything Guns.
That's what I said.
Well, that's my closing.
I thought I closed it.